Okay, patches. Talked about this a little bit, and I just want to make sure it's sort of explicit. What should happen is, in step 1, a security expert is going to find a vulnerability. I gotta make my V's a little better, sorry. So there's security experts out there, and they will just scan, like I said, they do this fuzzing. Where's the security experts? Oh well. Normally, it's just by fuzzing. So security experts will also do these fuzzings, or they might just see the code. And that's what happened with the Heartbleed. Someone saw the code and they were like, oh wait, this isn't validated. And then it was like, oh, too late. It's over. So the security expert is supposed to find the vulnerability, and then the next step is they report it to the vendor. The vendor should give a bounty. Okay, and that depends, but it should be worth the market share of the thing. So the vendor should give them amount of money. Google, if you find a vulnerability in Chrome, they'll give you, I think, $50,000 or $100,000. Microsoft's about the same way. So you get it should be a good amount of money. So they report it to the vendor. Then the vendor develops a fix. Can you guys imagine being the programmer that does this, right? So you have to find the code where you didn't validate or what you did wrong in your validation. You develop a fix, and then, vendor develops fix. Then you issue a patch. Okay? So remember your patch, this is fun, right? This is like a systems problem. Part of my software is messed up. I need to send out a program that will fix that problem. Once we've issued the patch, you're supposed to acknowledge the security person. So whoever found it, the vendor should say, here's this patch. Thank you to security person here for fixing it. Because the security expert, that's their reputation, right? People hire them because they're a security expert. Sure, they get a little bit of money, but the vendor is supposed to say the security expert. And then number 5, usually the security expert will sometimes tell how the vulnerability works. But we'll put not too much detail, and it should be weeks or months later, okay? And the problems we have is when sometimes the vendor will be a punk about it, and the person will tell them, and the vendor will say, okay, thank you, and then they won't give them a bounty, and they won't even issue a fix or a patch. And so eventually the security expert will be like, look, there's this vulnerability in Microsoft code, you need to be aware of it, they aren't fixing it. And so if they don't tell how the vulnerability works, no one will believe them. I mean, they have to tell enough that people will be like, oh yeah, I can see.
It's like that post you put on for the University of Maryland.
Yeah, there's a guy at University of Maryland that found, so the security companies scanned University of Maryland, they found this problem that people could get a hold of social security numbers. That's a fun one. They reported it to University of Maryland and they didn't fix it, and so he told all his friends, look, I'm going to announce this. And I think he actually went in and hacked in and got a bunch of social security numbers. And did he share the numbers? I don't remember.
No.
He didn't share the numbers.
That it needed to be fixed.
Yeah, oh, that's right. He hacked it and he got the numbers, and then he sent an email with the numbers to people on the security thing. And so, just by the way, and this should be sort of our underlying thing, it is a felony. Even if you're trying a good thing, yeah, it is a felony to access data in excess of authorization. There is a thing where they can say, like how much damage, it's based on how much damage you cause, but if they want to get you, they'll come up with ways of saying the damage was enough to make it a felony, so be careful when you do that. All right, so that's sort of the patch process. And like I said, Microsoft does it on just once a month on a Tuesday. I think it's the third Tuesday, I don't remember. The problem is Microsoft used to do it like they would issue them every time they had one done, and so you were getting a patch every few days from Microsoft, and it was too much. And so so they stopped and made it just once a month. Okay, so that was that. Oh, all right. So that's patches.